Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video I'm going to be talking about Winter Field Day and my takeaways and impressions being my first time. So for those that aren't hams, Winter Field Day was a 24-hour um, not a contest. So basically what that means is we were testing out emergency communications because ham radio is when all else fails. So your cell phone, like the one I'm filming this on, or the landline grid or the power goes out, your cell phone don't work, your internet at home don't work, ham radio still works. That's why we're when all else fails. So we set up about 3 or 4 dipoles over there. Our club went to Stevens Park in Niles. It's a nice little remote kind of place. And we fired up the radios at 2 p.m., started making contacts. We were on 15, I'm looking at my band chart, 15, 20, and 40 meters that we were operating on. And on Sunday I was operating personally 2-meter simplex. It was dead, of course. I made one contact on 2-meter simplex. I made a few DMR calls that weren't related to the not a contest. So basically, if you heard us, you heard several different people across the bands, again 15, 20, 40, calling our club call sign, which was W8VTD, and we were calling that out, and we were logging for the club. So we made about, well, I'm not even sure. I'll have to wait to get the final numbers because we were having network issues with the logging program. Basically, the network was supposed to basically unify the log so every operator position can see the log of of all the stations in operation when it came to that. But Sunday we were having network issues, so I'm not sure what our final numbers are. Our club's vice president is supposed to put those together. Hopefully put them together because our club meeting's tonight, and I would like to know exactly how many points we got and how many contacts we made over the course of that. Now, we didn't operate for the full 24 hours. So on Saturday we started, the antennas went hot at 2 p.m. and basically and my station wasn't counted in the category because I wasn't going to get many contacts on 2-meter simplex with just this antenna. This was the antenna that I used to work 2-meter simplex on Sunday. This is an Expert Power 2-meter 440 antenna, and I just ran it on my handy talkie. Just screws in. So that was, I started on the smaller antenna, which is, let me see if I could get you over here. I can't see it, but let me turn you guys. This is my little antenna that I keep on my HT when I'm not operating in my car. So basically, 3 out of the 4 stations plus my DMR station was packed up around 7:30, 8 o'clock. Now the 15-meter station stayed operating to maybe 11 p.m. or midnight, and so we made a bunch of contacts. Sorry about that. And trying to get this camera in the right position. Let's try it right here, so you guys aren't looking up my nose. But 20 and 40 ran good all day long. 15, the band was closing up on us, and one of the extras in our club president said, well, once the sun goes down, the band should open up. But it didn't, because the band conditions were poor, or fair to poor, all day Saturday. So on Sunday we came back. I worked 2 meter simplex. The other stations were in operation on 24, 40, and 15. There was another station there. I don't know what band they were running in, because they had their own dipole set up outside of the space of the triplexer, the 15, and I don't know what our club vice president, I think he was running 20 meters as well on a separate dipole, but he was running CW on his station on Sunday, did all his phone contacts on Saturday. And then basically the 15 meter station that we were running phone on, which is just picking up the mic, talking, was running PSK, which is phase shift keying. I don't know all about how PSK works. We were unable to run FT8, JT65, digital modes like that, but we were allowed to run PSK and CW, which is Morse code for the uninformed. And then the other 2 stations ran phone mode on Sunday, plus my 2 meter station, which I was running in phone mode on Sunday. We had a good time out there. We had some visitors. There was only 5 stations in operation if you count the 4 HF stations and my 2 meter, which I did log 1 2 meter contact. I did log, our club president Larry let me jump on the 15 meter for about an hour, and it was a lot of trial and error with 15 meters. Basically, I'd call CQ and see if I could get a station to respond, and it was pretty much spotty or hit and miss most of my time on the 15 meter band, because the band was crappy. But I did make a couple station contacts in Utah, one in Ohio, and I'm fuzzy on the other ones. I'd like to get a copy of the log and basically go through it for my contacts. That way I could come up with better numbers and what states I contacted on 15 meters. So on Saturday, so before I get into that, we had a Christmas party in December, and we had a lot. The club furnished roast beef and chicken. Whatever wasn't consumed at the Christmas party was frozen, and we got to feast on Saturday. So that I was feasting all day. Every time I got off the radio, I got a plate of roast beef, and just basically scavenged all day Saturday whenever I wasn't running a station. So basically that's what we did at field day, for winter field day. It was a blast. It was my first one. So here's some of my takeaways from field day 2022, winter field day. So Saturday I was interviewed by the local newspaper here in Ohio, the Tribune Chronicle. I do believe the story is still up on their website, all you out-of-towners that want to check. I was interviewed for about 10 minutes by a reporter, and a couple of my thoughts were put in the actual interview with the Tribune. We had a few of other hams from our club stop by to visit, but did not operate. So we had a few visitors on Saturday. On Sunday, it was pretty much nose down, make contacts, keep calling CQ. I kept working 2 meter for the duration, which I overslept. I got there at about 10, so by the time I set up the station, it was 10:15, and I started working 2 meter simplex. So that's what I did. I was only on 10 watts, so I only reached a guy. We were sitting on the side of a hill, which was good for 2 meter simplex that I was running, but I still only made one contact. Of course, that contact was in Ohio because I was running 10 watts simplex. My most high powered HT that I have here is 10 watts. And when you're running simplex, it's hard, because most of the time I run repeaters, usually on 2 meters, 1.25 meters, and 70 centimeters. And when you're on repeaters, you get a lot more carry because I'm about 2 miles from our repeater site. And I can work it on just a small antenna here. But back to field day. Basically, when I wasn't operating, I was basically walking around auditing the computers. But towards the end, like for maybe noon on, we had network problems with our cell spot, and the logs from each station weren't synchronizing with the server. So, oh joy, I was running my own personal hotspot for my DMR, but I didn't know what talk groups that they were contesting on. I'll find out more. I already know where Parks on the Air is going to be, so I am going to program that talk group into my radio. And I was carrying my little DMR hotspot. That's what I needed internet for, but I didn't want to jam up their internet, so I operated mine as my personal tethering on my cell phone, and I ran it on a different channel so as not to mess with them or them mess with me. In fact, they were running 5 gigahertz. I was going to, but I'm not sure if my hotspot can connect to that. So I usually keep my phone in 2.4 gigahertz, which worked out fine because they were on 5. Once I ran through and found out what the cell spot was on, I went in a completely different band, like a normal human being. But if they were running on 2.4, I would have found out on Saturday if my DMR hotspot would have ran on 5. So, winter field day, great time. Had some fellowship amongst our club. Some people I knew because one of them was a trustee. Larry, our club, Bob, our trustee, was there. Carmen, another club member, who was pictured in the paper. And of course, Larry and Amy, our club president and treasurer, respectively. They're a married couple, and they ran the 15 meters. Steve ran on 20 or 40, and Carmen and Bob ran on the opposite. They made a lot of contacts, which helped us out. 15 meters wasn't being kind to us on Saturday, at least when I was operating in the mid-afternoon. Definitely was not happy for me. So just for you non-hams watching this, where I was running was 15 meters and phone. We started out on 21 between, I don't remember the exact frequency, but 21 200 between 21 21.200 to 21.275. And then as the band started picking up, we moved into the general portion because there's a lot of generals. I did operate on extra frequencies. I had an extra sitting right next to me doing the log and making sure, he would tell me how to do this or that. But once we got on the general bands, I was a little more comfortable with calling CQ, and that's the portion of the band that my current license covers because I am a general class operator. Again, most of the time I operate on here at home because I don't have HF radio here. So most of my operation from here is in the technician bands, which are pretty much my playground is 2 meters, but I also go to 1.25 meter and 70 centimeter. But 2 meters is my playground, and for the uninformed, my portion of the band, because you got to take out the extra part at the beginning of the band, which is just Morse code. So mine runs from 144.1 to 148 is the technician portion of the band. That band is also, you could use data and RTTY. As far as data on the 2 meter, I know you have to use single sideband, and none of my radios tune single sideband for data to do like FT8 or JT65 or Olivia. So basically I'm just running phone from here, which is just picking up the mic and talking like I'm talking now. That's kind of how it works. So basically, I'm no longer New Boots to Field Day. I did go right after I got my license in summer of 2018 is when I got my technician, and I just got my general the end of December of last year. But when I first got my technician, I heard about Parks on the Air. I went out in 2019 for POTA, and I stayed about 5 minutes because I didn't know what Steve was doing with how he was operating, but I've learned a little bit more. I don't know everything about ham radio, probably never will, but if I can learn more about the modes that intrigue me, then I have a leg up for, eventually doing that. Now I am saving up for an HF radio, the radio that I really like, just from reviews and watching other people in my club, because there were 2 of these at field days. I like the ICOM IC7300. It's a good all-around radio, touchscreen. You can make adjustments on the fly with bandwidth and things like that. And with the touchscreen, you can flip between your SWR and power output to your Spectrum, and I know a lot of that's over you non-hams heads, but I understand a little bit about it. But that radio right now, most of the places that sell it, is about $1,399. And I often wondered why these HF rigs were so much more expensive than the technician radios that you can either get. I haven't seen a base station, but you can set up a little Yaesu 2 meter 440 in your house with a power supply, and or set it up in your car. Now, I do want to invest into a mobile rig that's 2 meter and 440 because I like to jump around. Between, like, if I'm in Youngstown, I like to go to the Youngstown repeaters. If I'm in Warren, I like to go to the Warren repeaters. I got a 19-inch vertical on the back of my car, And that's what I hook the little handheld to now. So basically, Winter Field Day, I hope we placed well in the Not a contest. We were logging so quick on Saturday that it, basically took down our cell spot on Sunday, but we were able to get the logs maintained on each station's computer. Since I was on 2 meter, I had somebody else log my one little contact on 2 meters and put it on the log for me because I just wrote it down in my notebook. So, coming up next, I don't know whether it'll be Parks on the Air or Summer Field Days. I'm not sure. But I will look ahead and let you guys know. Otherwise, if you like this video, found it informative, if you want to get into the hobby, you would start out as a technician, which I did in where does it say here? 2018. Yeah, 2018. It says my original grant date is October 2nd, but that's not correct. October 2nd was the day my vanity was granted. My initial grant was July 18th, 2018, when I got my first grant, but I hated my call sign, so I applied for a vanity. I was going to get my general right away, and then when I decided that wasn't going to happen right then, I decided to go ahead and apply for my vanity. So you could look me up on QRZ. Anybody can go to QRZ and look me up. You just won't see my email or my name or my location. And the only way you could register on there is if you're a ham. But you could check out my bio. You could read my bio. You just won't see my email address or my name or location, but you'll see my call sign. You can read my bio. I didn't put my email in the bio because I only want hams to see that, just in case I make a contact with one of them and they want to send me a digital QSL card. Then a QSL card is a card. It's an old practice indeed. I don't send out QSL cards. I just ask that you confirm in my QRZ logbook. But I don't think I'm going to put them in there because when I'm making contacts, I typically only log my DMR contacts, and when that happens, I'm on a different frequency than they may be on because I have my hotspot in the 70 centimeter band, which is 440 area, and up to it goes 420 to 450, and I'm right in at 425 and a half because that's out of the way of the other analog repeaters in this area. So thanks for watching. Winter Field Day, I think for my first one I did okay. I'd like to get an ICOM and a dipole and go out there and work some HF in the next couple years. I started saving up for my ICOM. I don't know how much these dipoles are, but they're pretty, for the uninformed, like when you used to buy a stereo receiver and it had FM, it had that wire antenna with that clip in the middle. Ours is somewhat on the order of that, except in the middle, instead of having a plastic clip, we have a balun that kind of takes the main feed line and connects it into the twin leads. It's called a dipole, and we were shooting them up in trees and trying to just get them up in the air so we can work. And I think it worked out pretty well. And I had a good time. And I'll let you guys know whatever the next video I post will either be basically on Parks on the Air or summer field days. We also have our Ham Fest this summer. People local to Warren, Ohio, Cortland, Ohio, Niles, even Youngstown, they come in for our summer Ham Fest. And it's kind of a swap meet, but you don't only have to sell amateur radio equipment. You can sell basically whatever you want. I'll have more details on that. Like, I'm sure we charge a fee for setting up because we have to pay the park in order to host the event there. And I think we charge for vendors. I'll keep you posted on that. And thanks for watching. Thanks for looking at and hearing me talk about Winter Field Day. I'm going to try to get away from the political stuff if I can. It's kind of hard with Brandon in office, but that's for another video, usually on Facebook Live. Hey, if this is your first time here, click that subscribe button. I'm trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers so I can start sharing stuff live rather than filming it and then uploading it later. So if I can get to 1,000 subscribers, I can start doing live streams on YouTube for y'all. Hit the notification bell. You can mark it to be notified for all videos I post, some of the videos I post, or none of the videos I post. But if you do subscribe, hit one of those notification options. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.